You are now tuned in to The Money Zone with your host, Folasade, the accountant for entrepreneurs. The time is now, your future waits, your money matters, make no mistake, it's not too late to dominate, so don't delay, get your money straight. The money zone, together we'll achieve your goals, we're building wealth, you're not alone, so don't delay, get your money straight.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Folasade, the accountability accountant. Is kind of low. Today is an amazing Tuesday here in Maryland. It was beautiful. Oh my gosh, y'all. Look, when the weather started to break a little bit, I tend to like to work outside, enjoy the easy breezy, and be feeling like cover girl a little bit, you know. So no, I'm excited to come to you guys on this amazing Tuesday. We have an action-packed segments for you guys. We're talking about the coronavirus, how the impact of doing business internationally impact your finances. And then last but not least, do I even remember my topic, guys? Do I even remember? Because my computer's frozen. So, I'll tell you guys segment 2 when I come back. So if you guys are not following me in all things social media, please do. Folasade, the accountant. Follow me there. And don't forget, don't be shy. Give me a call in the studio, 301-232-5700. Your opinion matters here, and I would love to hear your beautiful voice. So, guys, don't hesitate to give me a call. And guess what? We're going to take a quick break so me and Trump can get our stuff in order, and we will be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Folasade. Look guys, thank you for giving us this grace and mercy right now. Look, if you guys are not following me on all things social media, right? Which you should be. You know, we've been on Rip Radio Network for about a year now, right? Go follow me on Instagram and Facebook, right? But if you're not following me, or if you are following me on social media, then you realize that I've been kind of like MIA. I've been one of the leaders in the accounting industry, you know, when it comes down to live streaming, dishing out content, and just being an expert in my field. And so if you have been following me, you've been realizing that Folasade, third person, right? Folasade has not been around, right? Haven't been on Instagram, haven't been nowhere, Facebook, Periscope, no live stream, no nothing, right? I haven't been around, and you're probably wondering why. So here it is, and this goes right into our main topic. What it really takes to be an entrepreneur. So guys, I had to take a step back because if you guys don't know, I've been running my company since August 2011. So I'm going on 9 years this year going into my business. Okay, so this will be year number 9. And building my business to where we are right now have been hell and back. Okay, I told you I'm a poor little black kid from the hood. Okay, been evicted 10 out of 12 years, moved from house to house, no stability, no nothing. All I had was a loving mother and a loving sister, right? That was it. That was my home, my loving mother and my loving sister. So when I started my company, I was pregnant with my daughter. Life just went by. And what it takes to really build a solid business and to be an entrepreneur, you have to be willing to do number one, which is sacrifice. If you are made for this life of entrepreneurship, right? If you're made for entrepreneurship, you know you're going to have to sacrifice some things. You know that it's going to take some difficult decisions, or you know it's going to take you not being able to hang out with your girlfriends, or to do everything that the average person can do, right? You have to be willing to do the exception. What everybody isn't willing to do. That means maybe stay in the house, read, research, go the extra mile, travel, get coaching, do the works. Get out of your community, probably move, do your yoga, meditation, hire a coach, all of the things that it takes to really be an entrepreneur. And let me be really honest with you. As an entrepreneur, 9 years in, no loan, no help from daddy, no help from mommy, no help from nobody to come and save me, no big time loan, no nothing, just everything off the sweat, blood, and tears off my back, right? There is no blueprint to entrepreneurship. There is absolutely no blueprint to entrepreneurship. You can Google, you can read, you can research, you can do whatever you think that you want to do to try to learn entrepreneurship. You can read every book, right? You can do all of that. The issue is this: there's no blueprint. You have to now understand what you want in business and what your life desire and what's best for you and your family and everything. So today's segment is, what does it really take? What are you really sacrificing to be an entrepreneur? So I was watching, what's his name? Deval, right? The ex-football player, him and his wife have a program on YouTube and stuff, and he was saying how basically the first few years of building his business, he sacrificed his family too. And he was saying how his eldest son, didn't even know how to ride a bike, right? Didn't even know how to ride a bike. And it dawned on me, like Bren, that's your niece. She's 7. She know how to ride a bike. She know how to do all of that stuff. She's not missing out on things, but I have really sacrificed my family, my relationships, and everything to be where I am and to get where I'm going. And that's what entrepreneurship takes. And I recall, I don't know what year it was, I think we were just moved into my house. So that was we moved into the house 2013. So let's say around 2015. I said with my family, I said, hey guys, I need 2 years. I need 2 years of all of you guys helping me out as much as possible. I need 2 years of help with my brand. I need help, whatever, right? That's what I said during Thanksgiving. Did I know 4 years later that I wouldn't be the big person that I wanted to be? Would I have known 5 years later that I'm still preaching the same thing? Would I have known that 4 years later that I'm still sacrificing? So honestly, I'm having this topic because this is a real topic. Many of you are out there winging this entrepreneurship life, out there really playing with your livelihood and your future and your family's financial future, and you really don't know what it takes. So we're having a discussion today. Guys, give me a call, 301-232-5700. What are you willing to sacrifice for your next level? What are you willing to endure to get to where you want to go? What are you willing to put to the side, kick to the curb, and let go of to get to where you really want to go? Because from what I'm understanding and from what I'm seeing out online and from talking with several different entrepreneurs and just being out there, okay, and being the accountability accountant, a lot of you are not willing to sacrifice just the bare basics to live this lavish life. And it is nothing but a blessing to be able to wake up with your kids every day and do what you actually LOVE. Oh yeah, we're in the love month, right? LOVE, love what you do. And I love being an accountant and I love helping my clients. So what am I, and also what are you willing to sacrifice to be able to do what you love to do every day? So if you know, I've been MIA. I haven't been MIA from the studio, but I haven't came like one time, but that was due to like family stuff that was out of my control or whatever. But I really been MIA, and here's the reason why. Number one, I had to sacrifice my social media presence and being all over the face and being everywhere and hoping nobody don't take my place. I told my sister I wasn't going to rap today. Because I was rapping today. The past like 4 days, y'all, I've been really spitting bars. And ask my sister, ask my daughter. They hate it. And I said, I might come on the studio and rap today. But no. What I realized was that many of you don't want to sacrifice, right? You don't want to sacrifice. And that goes into number two. You have to sacrifice certain things to gain the discipline that you need to be able to obtain the results that you desire. So what am I saying? What am I saying? I'm saying that, okay, you can go hang out with your girlfriends, but you can't get as drunk as your girlfriends because guess what? You know you have to get up the next day and go to a photo shoot or record content or have a client meeting. You have to have the discipline to say, you know what, boo, I'm not going out, or you know what, hey, I'm going to go read this book, or hey, I'm going to go to this event. You have to be disciplined enough to say, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock at this particular time, or I'm going to wake up at 7 o'clock at this particular time. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and keep your word. See, many people don't understand that discipline comes from you just keeping your word. It has nothing to do with what everybody else is saying. Discipline has something to do with this and your habits and this. First of all, it starts with just keeping your word. That's the first discipline, because the moment you say it out your mouth, you have to keep your promise to yourself. Once you keep the promise to yourself, right, it can become a habit. Once it becomes a habit, it becomes a discipline, something that you live by, die by. But it starts with first keeping your word and doing it. So how are you going to discipline yourself? So for example, with me, what I ended up doing, if you guys have not noticed, and I'm not going to stand up and shout, I've been really eating good. Y'all might see I'm a little thick. I ain't fat now. I'm a little thick. So what I started to do, I knew that I wasn't happy. My ideal weight is 135. I told you I'm really shallow, but it comes with it. So I said, you know what? I have to start eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have to start drinking my OG and start drinking my water and getting on a good little routine of, eating healthier and trying to get back into the habit of working out and stuff. Then I said, okay, you know what? I got to get back in the habit habit of responding to clients the way that I used to, instantaneously, as quickly as I can get it out to them, so it won't be lagging or it won't be on my to-do list when I come in the office the next day. Like, what are you willing to do to be able to get to that next level? What new disciplines are you going to incorporate into your lifestyle? And the first discipline that each and every one of us as entrepreneurs need to keep is keeping our word. Keeping our word. It starts with you internally. So that was another thing I had to do as an entrepreneur. I took a step back so when I come back this year, I can keep my word to every client, to every person. See, because the difference between me and you and I is that I actually have staff, and I actually have clients, and I actually have overhead, and I actually have production cost and overhead. I'm not just an online business. Like, I'm just not at home for the gram. Let me go have a coffee shoot. Let me create a little worksheet. No, I'm not downplaying y'all. Y'all know I could be a little petty, right? No, I'm not trying to downplay nobody, right? No, kudos to you if you can make $1 million just taking pictures. Power to you. I'm not hating on you. Let me be your accountant, right? What I'm saying is that my business structure is different than your business structure, okay? I have to have staff to accommodate my clients. I have to have automations and systems to accommodate my clients. And if I want to have a lot of clients, right, and serve a lot of people and change a lot of people's lives and make massive impact, I had to take a step back and understand that, guess what? That goes into number 3. It takes grit, and it takes the ability to accept risk. So what do I mean by that? How does that grit and the ability to accept risk have to do with me and my team and scaling? See, because the difference between me and you and somebody else, when I made my first 6 figures a couple of years ago, I was never happy because 6 figures was never my goal, right? So when you know you have 8-figure goals, right, and you making 6 figures or you making 7 figures, then guess what's going to happen? You have to ask yourself, what else do I need to sacrifice? What other disciplines do I need to incorporate? And what other risk do I need to take to get to the level that I want? And as an entrepreneur, we always have to ask ourselves those few things. What is this? What do I have to sacrifice? What new disciplines do I need to incorporate, okay? And what risk am I willing to take or I'm going to take to achieve that? So what did I had to do? I had to risk all you guys never seeing me on social media again, never come back to my Instagram, never come back to my Facebook, losing me as your accountant, don't want me to do your taxes, just so I can better serve the millions of people that me and my team and my staff are going to be serving in the future. I had to say that, you know what, my sanity, my originality, the way that I do things have to be aligned with where I see my business going. And with the wave of so many different accountants coming online, trying to do little live streams, stealing people content, reproducing my stuff, stealing my stuff, my workbooks, like it just becomes crazy after a while. Hawking you, following you online, joining your programs, like it's just a mess. So I said, you know what, let me see what all these, y'all know what I wanted to say. What they going to do when I disappear for a while, what type of content they going to create, what type of products or services they going to offer at that point, and nobody's not really doing anything. So I was willing to sacrifice you not seeing me this long just so I can go back and realign myself with where me and my company and my team and my clients are going. So while everybody else is trying to keep up with the Joneses, I'm creating my Joneses right now. I ain't watching none of y'all. And so that's what a lot of you as entrepreneurs, you're not willing to do. You're not willing to disappear for 1 month and get back aligned with who you are, the original Don. I'm sorry, y'all be cracking my own self up. Look, but no. So you can always stay on the forefront. What are you willing to sacrifice so you can get to be the person that you desire the most? Because I'm going to be honest with you. Even with me being as confident as I am, comfortable in my own skin, everything going positive, right? Sometimes you get distracted. You get distracted about what everybody else got going on, and you forgot you the wave. You forget that sometimes. So this hiatus that you guys may have to sacrifice, just like I did, you need to go back in the cubbyhole, go back, okay, pray to your God, do what I did, meditate, read your Bible, get back aligned so he can tell you, hey, boss lady, go back out there and do you, but do it this way. Go back out and go this direction. Many of you as entrepreneurs, you're not listening to the words that the higher power, whatever you believe in, is telling you. So right now you're spinning your wheels. You don't feel clear. You don't feel like you're making traction. You're not happy with the money that you're making. You're not happy with your team, or you don't have a team. You're just basically not happy. But when you looking at everybody's life on Instagram, you forget about your unhappiness for that little bit of time. But the reason why is because as entrepreneurs, what I learned is that we have to be aligned at all times. And the moment that we're not aligned, that's our self-care time. That's our time for us to go get our massage and you know, your boom boom and your drink and your bar, you know what I mean? And your relaxation time. But as an entrepreneur, it is our duty. We have to stay 100% aligned because of the amount of pressure and risk and grit and confidence and disciplines and structure and sacrifices that we take, that if we're not aligned, we can become imbalanced. And you start copying off people. And you start doing what everybody else is doing. So if you go and check my IG story, I ain't even post nothing for the show today. And it was okay. I don't care who watched this show. Today's show is for me and for all my real entrepreneurs. When you take that step back, you're going to be comfortable in understanding that that is required for you to get to be the person that you desire. Because I had to be okay not being looking picture perfect. And I said, because my client said something the other day, she's an amazing woman. She said, Folasade, you don't even know why I hired you. And I think a lot of you as entrepreneurs need to figure out why people hire you too, because this was clear, cut, and in order, what I needed. She said, you know why I hired you? She said, not because you looking cute on Instagram or because you're primped and proper, because you know that. She said, you rough around the edges. She said, you gutter. She said, you going to say what you say. You going to mean what you say. She said, but you going to love on me. She said, you're going to beat me up. You're going to drag me down the street, but you going to love me, pull me up, and pray with me and cry with me. And then I realized, who am I talking to online? What client am I trying to get online that's not willing to accept the fact that I stutter a little bit? That's not going to accept the fact that I like to rap a little bit, and accept the fact that I'm not the norm, and accept who I am. And so if you're trying to do anything outside of who you are, you're not original, and it's not going to work. And it may get you your first meal, but after that, baby, you're going to be out, because they're going to realize that that's not you when your tone doesn't sound the same, or when your demeanor and your posture doesn't reflect how you portray yourself on Instagram and Facebook. And many of you entrepreneurs right now are struggling in your businesses because you have not accepted who you are as original. I'm going to always be maybe the most unconventional, I was going to say ratchet, unconventional accountants out there. And it was a hard realization that I'm never going to have the perfect popped white collar unless I just put it on right before the show. Then it might be perfect. But if y'all see a picture perfect white shirt, I just put it on, right? If it don't have a makeup stain right here, it's not me. So I had to accept who I was. And you do too. This is why some of the greats that you're watching online, you're wondering, why are they making so much money and they ratchet? Why they wigs so colorful? Why they shoes so purple? Why they talk so ghetto? But everybody loved them. That's because that is who they are. And they didn't come online and try to be nothing or fit the bill that you guys try to stick them with before you left the restaurant. No, they told you, this is how I like it and this is what I want, and they accept it. So rule number 4, of entrepreneurship is be original. Be who you are. If you have to be anything else but you, that money well ain't gonna last too long. So guys, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna take a quick little break. Give me a call, 301-232-5700. Let me know. Have you been unoriginal? Who are you? You know, who you're following? Who's your crew? Like, no. Give me a call, guys, 301-232-5700. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you so much for giving us your grace and your presence today. If you guys are not following me on all things social media, please do. Folasade, the accountant. I need to say the unconventional. No, I'm the accountability accountant, guys. So we were talking about what it really takes to be an entrepreneur. Okay, so we got a call. We're gonna take the call and then we'll come right back. Okay, so we're going right into where we're talking about before the break was what does it really take to be an entrepreneur? And I'm going to be honest with you, and I started off this segment saying that there's no blueprint. It really takes what you're willing to give, and you have to accept the output of what you did give. So guys, our caller is back on. Hey, how are you? Welcome to the Money Zone.
Hello.
Uh-oh. Hey, welcome to the Money Zone.
Hi, Folasade. I had just a question for you. I'm a first-time listener.
Oh, welcome.
Yes, and so I was listening to what you were saying. So I wanted to just ask you a question about the sacrifice. You said like this is what's needed to do to be able to succeed as an entrepreneur. And me, I'm just an aspiring entrepreneur at this moment in time in my life. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, in my opinion, that fear is a major factor that is like hindering sacrifice. Some people fear in, what they could lose, specifically what you said. You had to like tell your family, hey, I'm going to need you all guys here to support me. So how do you get someone over that hump? I understand that you're speaking to entrepreneurs who's already stuck their necks out there, but how do you tell someone that want to be an entrepreneur, hey, this fear thing that you have, how do you move past that?
Okay, so let me just make sure I have your question correctly. How do I tell an entrepreneur how to let go of the fear?
Exactly. Well, then that's just in my opinion, because I feel like fear hinders sacrifice.
Yeah, it does. So the fear prevents the sacrifice, really, because you're going to be scared to sacrifice. So to be really honest with you, and this is just my opinion, I feel as though entrepreneurship is just the gateway to faith. The moment you have the highest, most faith and believe in the Almighty God, whatever you believe in, right, then you will get past that fear. Many of us lack that confidence with entrepreneurship because we haven't rightfully sat down with God and say, hey, Daddy, is this the direction you want me to go to? If it is, remove all fear. Guide me in that direction. So to be honest with you, to really break through that fear, that person needs to start opening up and building a better relationship with their higher power. Because if you realize, most entrepreneurs are very extremely faithful, very high in faith.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. You're welcome.
Thank you for calling, love. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So, guys, don't hesitate to give us a call, 301-232-5700. So we were just talking about what it really takes to be an entrepreneur. So that goes right into our next one, accountability. I was talking with my sister earlier today about one of my clients that I'm really trying to break through and help them get some insight as to what God is speaking to them. And sometimes, what I learned, and I'm not a preacher or anything else like that. This is just pure spirituality and just having the utmost faith in what I've actually experienced and just gaining an understanding of how my dad, which is God, how he works. And so we were talking, me and my sister today, and she was saying, well, Pooh, and y'all know I'm the one coined accountability for 2020. Everybody else is saying accountability and accountability for 2020, right? But my sister was like, Pooh, there's no accountability without accepting responsibility. So right now as an entrepreneur, if you are really serious about being an entrepreneur, you have to accept 100% and be 100% responsible for your actions and be ready to be held accountable. See, the bigger you are, the more money you want, that means the more responsibility you want. The more responsibility that you want, that means you need to be held to the utmost accountability to be held responsible. But what I'm finding is that because Instagram, you guys looking at people IG stories. See, this is why I can't post on my IG all day, because me and my team, how many of us is it? Like 10, 15? Okay, all day, cleaning up clients' books. So I don't have that luxury of freedom like everybody else to show you, hint, hint, what the fake life of entrepreneurship look like. But the reality is that it's not as pretty as it is. And the moment that you accept responsibility for your future, you're going to hold yourself accountable for your day-to-day actions. And you're going to understand that it takes for you to be original to live out God's plan. It takes you to sacrifice and accept the responsibility to be willing to sacrifice to live out this plan. See, entrepreneurship is the biggest blessing because it feel like you're never working. You can be texting all day, clients fussing at you, getting cursed out, neck/wig pulled off, trash out, right? And you don't feel like you're working, because that is the ultimate blessing of entrepreneurship. While you're in the midst of it, enjoying the day-to-day processes, enjoying the day-to-day lessons, and enjoying the day-to-day headaches that will become the blessings that might make you millions in the future. But if you're not willing to, one, sacrifice, two, become disciplined in many areas, okay? Three, accept risk and perform with grit or perseverance, right? Then are you capable or deserve to live a life that's free? Because it's easy to say, I want to be free and I want to do what I want to do every day for the rest of my life, and then look at everybody else and see that they're not happy, and you go back to happy, go, that's a blessing. So what are you willing to sacrifice to be able to do that? And number 5, be a lifetime learner. So if you are an entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur, and you're watching this right now, please never put your big boobs on the table and say, I'm here. I'm here. Now, you know what you know in the role or in the position or in the time or in the place that you are in. But there's always going to be a learning term, a learning time in entrepreneurship. And the lesson might even come from your daughter, your 8-year-old daughter, or your 2-year-old son, or your 80-year-old grandmother. The real entrepreneur is a life learner. I didn't say a business learner. See, that's another reason why a lot of entrepreneurs are failing, is because you're learning business only, but you're forgetting entrepreneurship is a lifetime learner, not just a business time learner. You're a lifetime learner because you have to understand people. You have to be able to interpret people's handshakes, gestures, eye contact, everything. See, that's the reason why a lot of you cannot sell, because you have never studied perception, or you never even read a book about closing or gestures, or what is the meaning of somebody slouching, or what is the meaning of somebody twitching or disinterested. How do you close at that time? See, a lot of you have to understand that life is the one that sets you up for entrepreneurship. Life. You can read every book. You can buy every course, but you have to go through the process. And I just told one of my clients this. She did a consult with me. Amazing lady. She ended up banging everything out. She did her hour consult with me, and I gave her a long laundry list of what she needed to do. So she did her taxes with me this year. And she was like, Folasade, I did this. I was like, Mama, you killing it. I was so hyped because I really never seen too many people perform on this level. Like, she was like an alpha, like straight up like hardcore. I'm done, Folasade. What's next on my list? What's next, right? And so she reminded me of one of my clients too. They just do all the work, everything, and get done. And so she told me today, Folasade, I did this, right? And I told her, I said, okay, Mama, don't put no more systems in place. I said, go ahead on out and try to acquire more clients. I said, because these next few clients that come on board with you, right, will be the clients that you now enhance your systems, develop more processes, and create additional automations or systems that's necessary so you can be free and manage your lifestyle and your family and everything else, right? And so if she did not do a consult with me, she would have been just like you. You would have been creating systems and processes for a whole year and stop acquiring clients and hoping that the systems and processes work, not knowing that 1 year later it don't work. Sorry. So in her particular case, because she's a learner and because she's willing to say she don't know everything, she came into our meeting today and said, Folasade, this is what I did. And I told her, hey, stop. Don't put nothing else in place. You already got the basis. Now let's go see if the systems work. Once we see if the systems work, whatever changes you need to make at that point, you need to come back and make those adjustments, okay? So why am I telling you guys this on the Money Zone? Exclusively on Radio Network, right? I'm telling you guys this because many of you are in the lab, and you're in the lab and you're stuck for these 5 different reasons. Number 1, you didn't sacrifice the time that was necessary to hone into your expert or into your business. You were so busy watching everybody else build their business, you forgot to love on your own and sacrifice your own, number one. Number two, you forgot that you needed a certain level of disciplines to be consistent in your marketing, consistent in your approach, consistent in discipline in the way that you handle things and do things, and just go and just being able to execute is a discipline. Okay? Number three, you guys forgot what it really takes. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose time. You may lose friends. You may lose relationships. You may lose businesses, locations. You may lose clothes. You may lose wigs. I'm not trying to be funny, but in all actuality, yes, because if you stress, you pull that thing. Okay, it's gone, right? Okay. All right. But the issue is this. To be able to live the life that you want and to be the solid entrepreneur, you have to be able to know what are you going to sacrifice and what are no's. What disciplines are required and what isn't. So everybody telling you, you got to be up at 4 o'clock. Nah, that's a fucking lie. You don't have to get up at 4 o'clock to be a successful entrepreneur. You don't. You don't have to stay up all night, all day to be successful. Nope, 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 nope. But what they mean by that is this. You will not be able to make millions of dollars just doing 40 hours a week. Now, they're right. Now, it may not be 40 hours during the normal working hours. It may not be 80 hours during the normal working hours, right? But it will be more than 40 hours. See, that's what they mean. They're telling you to get up a little early because they realize that, hey, just like I realized being a real CEO, right? Once my office open, I don't get no work done because my staff, but sorry, y'all. All right. My client, sorry, y'all, email. So most CEOs of real business wake up at 4 and 5 because that's their time to really do the stuff that they have to do to keep the company running. So many of you are getting all of these disciplines and all of this stuff just so misconstrued because they're not coming from real entrepreneurs to let them know, hey, I came up with this strategy. I came up with this discipline. It's your time, baby girl, if you're watching me right now, for you to come up with your disciplines. Now, your disciplines may be you work 5 hours on Monday, you in your 9 to 5 on Tuesdays, you work 5 hours on Wednesday, but you're consistent with those 5 hours Monday and Wednesday and Friday, and that is okay if that's all you can put in. So what are you going to do? The next thing, you have to be willing to accept the fact, and real entrepreneurs notice that we don't know nothing. It's like every time I feel like I know something, y'all, I feel like I'm dumb as a brick. I just told my team. So look, long story short, my whole bookkeeping department, we're trying to clean up a few things, right? And so my CPA and my bookkeepers, and it's me in a meeting, right? And they're like, oh, Folasade, look at this. Let me move this filter. Let me remove this filter. Let me do this. Let me do this. I'm like, oh, you guys are just so goddamn smart. And I'm just like, you guys are so smart. And they were like, no, Folasade, you're like the smartest. I'm like, no. And it was just funny because as much as people want to think, because I'm not at that level anymore, right, that I don't know my bookkeeping, I don't know my accounting, or I don't know nothing. I am a life learner. Or if I don't know Excel, or if I'm not willing to learn from my child or learn from you, if you guys were to call me and teach me something, I'm so humble and comfortable within my skin to accept the lesson that God wants me to learn just from you. Even if I make more money from you, I'm so humble. And this is why entrepreneurs are the ones that make it, are life learners and take lessons in any form of fashion, right? It's because we realize it's the universe and God may be speaking through that person, and it's a lesson and a blessing in everything. So if you really want to be able to endure this entrepreneur stuff, figure out what sacrifices you're willing to accept and which you're not. I'm not going to be the one that, I'm not at that phase no more in my company where I have to meet with people 10 o'clock at night to satisfy them. Now, the new entrepreneur may have to do that to try to steal one of my clients. You know what I mean? But I don't have to do that no more. What are your sacrifices? Your disciplines. Are you going to work on Saturdays or work on Sundays? Are you going to do this? See, now I don't have to do that anymore. Now, tax season, yes, but no Sunday. I'm not sacrificing my Sunday with my family for nobody. Now, I might take a phone call just because, but no, I'm not. But you as a startup, you may have to do that because I did that, okay? You have to now create your disciplines. Then also, what are you willing to risk? See, guys, I was a black 34-year-old, I'm 34 now, black 25-year-old when I started my company. Didn't have loans, didn't have nothing. I sacrificed my credit. I sacrificed my resources, my financial resources. I sacrificed my wigs, my Chanel bags, my lifestyle. I sacrificed all of that to be able to be where I am right now. So while so many people are laughing at me, say, oh, Sade, you're not shopping, girl. You used to be on this. Your wigs used to be this. And I'm looking at them like, boo, you forgot I sacrificed. What are you willing to sacrifice? So while they're still buying bundles, right, I don't even have to do that. My stylist going to come to my house, in my salon, by my sauna, by my pool, while I do hair because I sacrificed my wigs, you know what I mean? Or I sacrifice hanging out and spending excessively. Last but not least, who is going to hold you accountable? Real entrepreneurs, and I'm not going to say you're not a real one. Yes, we have our accountability, like, you know, a lot of my clients' accountability, right? But the ones that's really going to make it hold themselves first accountable. Number one. And then when I hold them accountable, then they even feeling worse because they should have nipped it in the bud before it got to me. The real entrepreneur, if you're made for this, you are willing to accept accountability for everything. You're not going to blame nobody for nothing. So when I downsized my office in 2016 by choice, I didn't blame nobody. I blame myself. I blame myself for hiring clients, the clients I hired. I blame myself for being so flexible. I blame myself for having systems that I broke every time for a client. I blame myself because I didn't have the balls to say no. I blame myself. A real entrepreneur blame themselves. And they're going to look at the mistakes, not at the wins. They're going to look at the problems and the mistake areas, and they're going to correct them and make themselves better. That's what entrepreneurship takes. So getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning may not be what it takes for you, but I guarantee you accountability is required in entrepreneurship. And if you really want to see what it really takes, hold yourself accountable for everything, and you're going to see how amazing you can be. See, now me, I want to have a little fun. I don't want to be extra stiff. I realize that, y'all, this little 2-3, this is my little 4-month hiatus. Like, I don't want you guys to put me in that box where I feel I have to be stiff and not myself. Yes, when I go to Congress, when I go to those places and I'm fighting on your behalf, or when I'm sitting in front of IRS and, you know, I'm going to have my fitted, you know, I'm going to be, you know, but on my day-to-day, I want to be me. And that's what ultimately entrepreneurship does. It allows you to be you, be free, and be the best version of yourself. God, I'm about to drop a bar that you can be. I told my sister, she might be watching. I've been rapping all week, y'all. This one I know I'm a line because God just started spitting all I might rap for y'all one day. I might. So no, guys, that was the show today. What it really takes to be an entrepreneur. And there's no script. Stop even trying to read up on it. Just go and learn. And then as you're finding your weaknesses, see, that's the difference. And see, this is my last strategy for you guys. You go read up on your weak areas. So if you know your weak areas is marketing, go and read that. If you know your weak areas is sales, go read that. But remember, you have to know you and hold yourself accountable to accept you to be able to make those right changes. So what does entrepreneurship really takes? It takes you being true and holding yourself accountable to the life that you guys want to live. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me on The Money Zone exclusively on RipRadioNetwork.com, guys. Today was an exciting, I didn't even get loud or nothing. So I just found out a little balance, y'all. Y'all know I normally get real hype and scream and stuff. So just that alignment right here, just that alignment right here. So I can talk and be me and, you know, be a little hood, a little smart, a little intellect, and, you know, the all package, and be comfortable. And you guys are going to love me regardless, because that's who I am, and I don't care if you do or not, because my family do. So I just want you guys to leave me knowing this. Whatever you're not willing to accept in the mirror will show face later. Systems, processes, bad clients, missed payments, whatever the case may be, it's all going to show face later. Hold yourself accountable today so you can be the best version of yourself tomorrow. And guys, don't forget, we got 25 tickets left for the Rippies Award Show. Don't forget to vote for me too, for the most inspirational show at RipRadioNetwork.com. But look, guys, I would love to see you all February 29th at the award show. 25 tickets. I will be in the building, dressed to impress. Told my crew we're going to shut it down because we the best. Hey, I'm gone for the day, y'all. Oh, seriously? Oh, and guys, don't forget, tune in next week. We're going to give away 2 tickets to the Rippies Awards here it's going to be at Motor House in Baltimore. So, guys, tune in next week. Don't forget, I look forward to seeing you guys. See you later. Bye, y'all.